Hello, user. It's time for our regularly scheduled contact. Actually, it kind of isn't. We've not really got anything to report. Since last time, we haven't really done all that much, if I'm honest.
That's okay sometimes, right?
Yeah, we went into a big cave. It was nice down there.
But we had no signal. That was it.
Yeah, we can't report back to command because we had no signal in the big cave. Hello,
Mm-hmm.
you. I'm Danny. I'm here with In.
Hello.
That was our smoothest intro ever, and I'm really proud of us.
Nice. Well done. And like little clappy. Little clappy. There it is. Okay.
Thank you. That is an appropriate level of clappy for how good that was.
Mm-hmm. You can get like a little button for little clappy.
Is Little Clappy going to be your new nickname for 9S?
No, because it's the name of this emote. Well. Yeah.
You can call him
really
like
cute.
Little. The problem is you can't really stick anything after Little because Nines is already kind of like cute and diminutive.
Little tiny? Little buddy!
I like the idea of Little Tiny. That's just like, you know, little.
Because you've got tiny and then you've got little tiny, right?
Like, what's
Like,
even
which
more
one do you want to
tiny
mess
than
with?
tiny?
Little tiny. Just a little tiny.
So, in terms of what we're actually doing here, other than going adventuring with Little Tiny and his friend, bigger than Tiny and kind of scary, we were tasked with helping the Resistance on their missile resupply mission.
Ah.
Now,
Whenever I think of missiles, I think about the shape and then I just start thinking about crayons.
Missile is like a really
wrong.
intense version of Crayon. You can't do a lot of
Okay.
drawing with Missile.
Oh, okay. I just needed to share that.
No, I think you're right. But like, what would the little fins on a missile be?
It's
Can you get
flappers? Mm,
Can you get like a crayon with little wings?
that's for when you start peeling the paper strip off of it.
I would never do that to my crayons.
Wait. That sounds like you've never used them. Like, what do you do when you run out of point and you're like just, I don't know, bashing the flat end of the crayon against the paper and it's like paper like just shredding itself on itself? Like, that sounds a little bit... Okay.
So I thought you meant like tearing it off the other end, the not active end of the crayon.
Oh, the butt.
Yeah, in which case I've certainly never ruined my crayons by doing that. Thank you.
Wait, I don't know which version to believe.
Well, hang on. I've just realised I was going to move on there, but oh, shh.
Oh.
Why must we read all these books, brother?
Knowledge expands horizons and enriches existence.
But can't we just transfer all this data over instantly?
Into your head, perhaps, but not to your heart.
I guess. Hey, so...
Yes?
my name? Eve? This book says it's a woman's name. Shouldn't we be called Cain and Abel or something instead?
Humans wouldn't change names so easily. Besides, you should be proud of the name Eve.
Huh. Well, if that's what you think, then I'm fine with it.
Glad to hear it. Is there something else?
After we're done reading, can we go out and play? I'm sure it'll be tons of fun.
All right, but only after we're finished.
You mean it? Then I'm gonna try extra hard to finish this. Extra hard!
You do that.
He just wants to play with his brother.
But that's kind of so sweet, and also that table is still really very, 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 very long.
It is an ostentatiously large table, isn't it? Like,
There's a reason why they don't have walls. It wouldn't have fit.
oh yeah, the only place they could find to put it was on top of a gosh darn building.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, you were saying.
Ah, I was not saying so much as having a wonderful revelation.
There's another of those machines. I suppose it's going to
And I
attack
don't know if
me,
it's really
right?
a wonderful revelation, but if you made a crayon with like aerodynamic fins, that would be perfect merchandise for like NASA or something. Hey,
I need to look this up immediately.
they must have done it, right?
Space shuttle. Grant, you can hear me. Search engine this. Upcycle all crayons into fun shapes with this easy DIY.
Wait, mixing all your old crayons into one big fun shape.
Yes.
Surely that's not going to be a very fun colour.
It would be like a rainbow color.
Oh, I thought you meant like melting it down.
No, you melt them down, but you don't. They don't like mix together. What? Sorry for distracting you.
To be fair, they disrupted you. So do you remember the golden robots?
Yes.
There's an angry one here.
Angry robots.
This one has extra cool stunts. And loves to go indoors. I think this is the only robot in the game. Oh, sorry, robot. Where are my manners? I think this is the only machine in the game that actually attacks like that, and I kind of love them. Also, please note that they're on fire because they're cross.
Wait, did they just blast off?
Yeah.
Are they? They're a crayon. They're a stubby crayon, right?
They're a big, beautiful, golden, stubby crayon. Gold crayons are really valuable.
It's sparkly. It's all the mica in it. Nice.
Okay, so I thought I could get away with that. That was almost cool.
Oh.
Kind of spoiling the moment.
Why is it tooting grape juice at us? Stop it.
Fortunately, every projectile kind of looks like a delicious fruit. But like the bad fruit you shouldn't touch.
This is like a poppin' party nightmare. Like, no.
They do actually... Oh dear. Yep, I messed that one up quite bad. I messed that up because I had a realization. They look a little bit like popping bubbles you get at the bottom of boba.
That is the only thing I can think of. I want to, as it comes towards the screen, I want to open my mouth.
But that's dangerous. They're bullets in.
They look like they might taste delicious. They're kind of like a
Well,
grape
you do have to
color?
try at least once.
Oh, I kind of want some grapes now.
Grapes aren't as fun as popping bubbles from boba, though.
No. But you can't really peel a popping bubble in the same way you can peel a grape, so...
Exactly, so popping bubbles are better. You don't have to peel them. Well, you don't have to peel a grape either, that's true.
No, peel the grape.
So we...
Machines trying to avenge their families? That's absurd.
Data shows that humans often engaged in similar activities throughout mankind's history. Such attempts at revenge were often seen as justified.
And yet, The bedrock here was bombed out in the last war. Looks like the whole city is starting to sink as a result.
Just the delivery of that.
What I really like is how it quite cruelly punctuates it with this song too. Oh yeah, that's gone.
Are we swimming?
Yeah,
Oh.
we just went for a little swim. Unfortunately, 9S rather decided, like, when you do the big sky kick to get you more distance, you will home into nearby enemies. I thought I could get away with it. I didn't.
You forgot to, like, pack his water wings.
Unfortunately, one of the S's in 9S does stand for stone, which is like how he swims.
Oh, sink. 9 sinks. Yeah, a lot of
certainly
dishes done in
does.
sinks.
Can I get a bit of peace and quiet now? Hang on, what's this quest up here that we've got? Sorry, I'm doing side quests now. Yeah, like, the game uses... Oh? Oh, Master Server wants to get some bits and pieces from these machines. The game uses music to deliver its point and punctuate it several times. Like, oh, that's going to be the bad laser. Like, we've seen that, obviously, a few times now. This is an odd one. I can't... This is more my memory now, because it's been a while, I'll be honest. I can't recall if they use that music elsewhere. I think they must do, but... this is such an intense end to that quest.
I don't remember this music anywhere. Oh.
I do like how the golden...
The golden
It's fine. I do like how the golden machines are presented as, like, just kind of dangerous and grumpy and out to get you. And then the quest sort of takes a turn.
Yeah. You know, just making you reevaluate all of your actions throughout the entire playthrough. As usual.
You know, the standard NieR stuff. Making you doubt everything you've done so far in this game. Oh, the uses of the amnesia quest too. Thank you, Matt.
Hack the snake.
Already.
How will it feel? Oh, I was gonna say, how will it feel to move around in this open area instead of a cave?
Largely the same, I'd imagine. Unfortunately, we can't use the snake to cross the gap.
Wait, really?
Yeah, because once you've hacked something, you can't, like, hop out of them. Like, technically speaking, we could cross the gap with a snake, but it wouldn't get us there.
Oh.
Hehe, that's why you home in with the big kick.
Oh, snake puppet.
So we were talking about this before the stream, but I actually can't remember how he got into this, but we decided that when 9S hacks something, he's basically doing sock puppets out of them. So that then led us to just imagining 9S doing a proper puppet show. Where's that bullet shooting coming from? Oh, hello.
The eaves. No, wait, the under bit, not the eaves. Or the image of 9S putting on 9 socks. 4 on one foot, 5 on the other? I'm sorry that caused you to have such a terrible sinking feeling. Ugh.
It's okay, he's just a very soggy boy now.
9 sogs doesn't sound good.
No, it really doesn't. I don't think sogs is the plural of soggy. 1 soggy, 2 sogs?
No, wait, it's 9 G's. Soggy.
Oh, when he gets really soggy.
Because the little hook in the G holds a little bit of water, right? So the soggier he gets, the more G's he needs to hold the extra water.
See, then that adds another question in my head of, what do you think... No!
Like body slammed.
Just straight into the water. That does make me have another question, though, which is, what letter do you think could hold the most water, then?
Oh.
But then how would you get the water out? How'd you get the water
And
out?
where you got it in.
Like, wouldn't a U be more practical than an O?
Oh. No, that makes sense too. But if I just said you would yell at me.
No, why would I yell at you? That's a solid decision.
No, because you'd be like, oh, in. What letter do you think can hold the most water? And I'd be like, you! And then you would go, in. That's so rude.
That is rude, though. How are we going to get over there with 9S? I don't remember. The treasure chest over there to hack is the thing.
Oh. Can we not go around it?
Not really. This you do the big jump across from here, as far as I'm aware. Oh, if you do a big sprint first to get some distance, huh?
Running start.
Maybe.
Big run, big run, big run. What?
No, that's not gonna be good enough!
Yay!
But did you see the little spinny pirouette he did when he was scaring us?
Yes!
Because that was cute! Sorry for the panic, everyone!
It's okay, we're civilized now, right?
Yeah. Back to being serious. No, remember, no emotions. They're prohibited.
Prohibited. It's time to be serious now.
Being serious?
I'm in.
So, wait, I get it. So, it's not really a spoiler to explain this one. Do you remember what Legion was?
No.
Legion was one of the possible results of white chlorination syndrome.
Oh, yes, got it.
White chlorination syndrome being what happened to people when they breathed in the bad white stuff that came down after the events of Drakengard.
They got extra salty.
They sure did. And you know, when you get that salty, you turn into Legion and start attacking people.
Actually not a bad analogy.
Down he goes. Yes, so that is, again, another connection between NieR Automata and NieR. But, like, it's not a very explicit one because, honestly, first time through, I didn't remember what Legion was either.
Is that what we need to protect?
Because, certainly, for the most part, because I
Let's take him out
think
already so I can be home in time
Legion
for
is
dinner in the
only
back.
really mentioned
Androids don't
in
need to bathe.
Drakengard.
As long as you
Because it might have been mentioned in NieR rather, but you don't see Legion in NieR at all as far as I'm aware. You see the Shades, which were one of the other results of it. That was a bad job.
Yeah, but come on, 2B. It still feels good.
I believe now, this is relying on my memory, so this could be sketchy, but I believe Legion is what humans turned into, whereas Shades is what replicants turned into.
I think you're right.
Look at that big laser.
Imagine the sound of the clap from that. Very big.
Very, very big. I don't really want to wait and find out what the clap sounds like. I'm doing this
I'm gonna
bad.
say, the clap sounds terrible, and I remember that's a euphemism? Slang for a thing? Anyways.
Yeah, yes it is, but it's not a pleasant thing.
Yes. It's like, this is familiar. Oh, that's why.
Oh, 9 Suds is cute. I like 9 Cents too, but 9 Suds is like 9S gets home, 9S is sleepy.
And Linus takes a bath. 9 suds.
And
With the
definitely
little
not
rubber
9
ducky.
socks. Sorry?
With a little rubber ducky. No,
It would be a
pod.
little yellow rubber ducky, but it would have a stubby head, I think.
I don't know how to feel about this.
It would be cute. It's like a normal rubble. It's like a normal rubble ducky, but it's got those cute green eyes.
Does it still float?
Of course. I'm not suggesting you should make your rubber duckies out of steel. That would be silly.
Well, the alternative is you can inflate a plastic rubber ducky thing. Just be careful not to let it loose down the street while it's really windy.
I don't think it was angry. That rubber ducky we saw rolling down the street was cool. It had sunglasses on.
It did have sunglasses on.
You can't have sunglasses on and be angry. That's one of the rules. Oh, a little rubber ducky with a blindfold.
I've seen those, but they normally have extra
last of the machines.
accessories.
Oh, you mean so like the swords and like the big like thigh highs and stuff?
Come in.
Commander?
And a couple of like buckles.
I suppose on a ducky it'd be a wing high, wouldn't it?
Come under attack. It's currently being engaged by a swarm of machines. I've asked all your troops in the city ruins for assistance, and I'll need you to provide backup as well. I'm sending flight units and coordinates now. Good luck. Out.
You see? Total slave driver. Whoopsh.
If she didn't order others around, what kind of leader would she be?
If you say so.
That's such an important piece of dialogue. Just 9S getting told off.
Like, well, okay then. I guess you're right.
Yes, I can't argue. Oh well, time to go to our perfectly regular missile supply mission. Well, first we got to navigate a few, like, popping bubbles. So the thing about this section is, it's still tremendously cool. It is kind of exactly the same as the last time we were here. For the most part, it will change a bit later, but, you know. Do you remember this? It's cool.
So this is pulling your play from Route A, right?
I'm not actually sure. I would say probably not, because the way 2B is moving is a bit slow, and as you might have noticed by my driving, I love to go circles.
Yes. Spinning and circles and circles and spinning.
If you go in too many circles, the S in 9S starts to stand for sicky too.
Oh, not 9 spins.
9 spins
Oh,
is what
because-
makes him 9 sicky.
No, when you try to get to 10 spins, he goes, nope, now 9 sick.
I think it's important it's very specific 9 sicky though.
Sick. Is that with an IE or a Y?
Both have their charm.
No, it's both.
Oh
Attention,
no!
Carrier Blue
The
Ridge 2.
boat!
Requesting support from any friendly units in range. We've come under heavy fire from the enemy. Our escort ship has taken damage and is unable to engage. We're currently resisting with all remaining support fighters, but we can't hold them off for long. I repeat, this is
I'm
Carrier
heating up
Blue
the tea
Ridge 2.
slate.
We need immediate backup from any available android forces.
Why wouldn't they leave it alone? Okay, time for big chops. We've had enough.
Oh,
Time for 9 slices.
of what? Cake?
Well, I'm hoping cheese, you mentioned it.
Oh, cheesecake.
Oops.
What do you mean, oops? You just
I'm picking up a large-scale enemy inbound.
you served them
Looks to be
all at the same
2.8
time.
clicks southwest of us.
Oh no! It's that thing attacking the boat!
It's a hot iron.
The weird shaped iron. My iron at home doesn't have an antenna.
It's like a handle, you know, when they have it for a grill.
Oh, so it's safe.
And then you can like flatten your things as you heat them up.
What's... I realize this is the only game we have now for this entire section. What's the type of food you'd put in a flat press that starts with S?
Reverting back to area recon.
I can only think of panini, and that's like the opposite of an S.
Didn't I kill that already? What on? If it's
Like a
that big, we should
slider?
be able to see it.
If you squish a slider, wouldn't it turn out, like, a bit sad? Oh, no!
Hungry!
Sandwich spanini. Thank you, everyone at home.
This buddy's name is Spanini, right?
Yeah, this Goliath's name is Spanini. That's what Matt was talking about.
Oh.
You'll see it in a minute. It'll pop up with that text in the middle saying, "Watch out, it's Spanini."
Is that a machine? It's freaking huge.
It's a sub.
Oh, I know I'm doing silly little jokes about it being like, do you remember this? Oh no, it's the Goliath Flyer, but this is very cool. Spanini's very cool.
It's blocking close-range attacks with EMP blasts.
I love
We've got to find another way
Spanini.
to damage it.
I don't know if I love them because they're very dangerous.
Operator
Look
210
at
to
their
9S.
big floppy
Command has
head.
decided to stage
You can have a
direct
big floppy
satellite
head and
laser
still be
strike on the
dangerous,
hostile.
though.
We need you to
Like a
destroy
hippo.
enemy EMP generators
Exactly
so we can
like a
log on to
hippo,
target.
but like a hippo that lets off
Generator,
EMP
sending
blasts when you get
coordinates to
near
your
it.
map now.
And has eye lasers.
No, hippos do that.
Generator target
Oh.
confirmed. Marking
I
on
think. Am I thinking of hippos?
destroy the generator quickly.
I'm thinking of Superman.
Oh. Oh, okay. Does this one have still be arms and legs? Or just have fins?
You don't know if they have arms and legs. They could be under the water.
Paddling along.
Yeah.
That's the sound of the paddling.
Of course. Oh, that makes it sound too cute, though. It's like the lasers are happening by accident.
Enemy data obtained from
Okay, would it be less cute if they had like a million
the
legs
only
doing
known
that?
record of this machine
What's like a hippo caterpillar? Because yes, that would be less cute, I think.
Upon reaching land, the unit unleashed
Oh,
a
it just makes it
devastating
more like a
electromagnetic wave attack.
Ghibli thing.
All resistance fighters in the vicinity were annihilated.
Oh, it's brought it back to cute just by saying Ghibli.
Land, we're screwed.
Look at its big head!
Ugh. Why don't they leave us alone? We're trying to appreciate the hippo.
It might be warning you like this is a petting zoo. Do not touch. No touchy.
Oh, that's probably it, yeah. Tell you what, this zoo has a lot of guards, though.
Overlay says that it's locating animal bait. Well done, Danny.
How does Overlay keep doing this?
Thank you, Overlay.
Overlay is my favourite supporting member of the cast. Oh, by the way, you can't hack Spanini or anything.
Oh.
They're very
Is it-
resilient.
Their firewall is too tough.
It must be that. That's the only hacking term I know. There's firewall. Oh, firewall, cipher. And then the other hacking term I know is that when you're done, you scream, "I'm in," but you're in.
Yes, me. I'm in. But I'm not.
See, if you wanted to hack something, you would have perfect cover. Because if you just shouted, "I'm in," everyone would just go, "We know." But you could have
Yes,
broken
but
into
wrap that
something.
in a punch.
Confirmed elimination of electromagnetic interference. Stand by for incoming satellite laser strike.
Should probably get out of the way. Moving a little bit.
This is a really specific thing, but I think that laser blast is cool because it's like a discrete bullet of laser or something. Like, it doesn't shoot a huge laser that goes pew from the sky. It shoots one tiny thing that gets absorbed by Spanini and deflected.
Having trouble over there?
Ah.
Are you Yorha?
Hunter Squadron deploying out of North 12C Defense HQ. I'm the commanding officer, 4B. Don't worry, we'll take it from here.
Yay, it's 4B.
2B, let's leave this area to the reinforcements. I have an idea. You and I should meet up at the spot I just marked.
So 4B is a little bit softer than 2B, right?
Yeah. HB is like your average standard hardness of an android. I think 2 is slightly harder than that, softer than that rather. What's harder than HB battle unit?
F.
Oh, well we don't know if there is an F Yorha is the thing.
Ah. Would they be called a Forha? They'd still be called a Yorha.
Well, but the B units aren't called Borha.
Not unless they're on a boar.
We need more
That's true.
2B, let's try for a more direct approach.
Sawhead just makes it sound like scanning units fly around.
Lay down some fire in its stupid
Oh, I'm
mouth.
so tired.
Hey, by the way, the 9S version of this is much less dramatic.
Put it in its stupid mouth.
You basically get to say the word stupid.
Oh. Okay.
Sorry, Spernini.
Good night, Spanini. Good night, Spanini.
Good morning, Spernini, actually.
Oh. You know when you wake up when you've had a sleepover and the other person is like right in your face? Good morning.
Actually, what I was thinking is, you know when you wake up and your mouth feels really weird for some reason?
2B!
And your pillow's mysteriously wet.
We gotta bail, 2B.
Yeah.
This is bad.
Oh, okay.
Well, sometimes. I was more thinking that someone had shot a laser in your mouth and that's why it feels fuzzy. But...
Oh, yeah, because it would have dehydrated all of the water in your...
Exactly. Oh, Lynx brings up a good point. Is that just flavor blasting it? It's basically a goldfish.
Go fish! Go fish! No, it's not golden
Yay!
It was designed to help annihilate the androids, but it wound up going out of control. I was part of the machine's network when it happened, so I remember it. The moment it reached land, it went berserk and began attacking everything in sight. No one could figure out how to stop it. They eventually marooned it deep in the ocean, but it seems to be searching for a way back. Huh.
Hey, 2B, I think I have another idea. You keep that thing right where it is, okay?
What?
Please, 2B, this is gonna work.
Okay, this is where it starts to change. So, I don't know if you remember, back in Route A, as 2B, you do stay there.
Yeah.
Whereas now we get to go on 9S's little jolly to wherever he wants to go.
Little jolly!
He's going off on his jollies.
I thought it was really cute.
I think going off on your jollies just means going on a little holiday, right?
I'm not sure. This strays into British territory that I'm...
And of course, you're not in British territory anymore. Like, there was a time, but there was an argument about that, I gather.
Yeah, but, you know, 8,000 miles later, okay, I'm here now.
I mean, have you seen the documentary, The Hamilton?
Oh my gosh. Like, I've heard it, but I've not seen it.
It's about the inventor of America, Hamilton.
Oh, okay. I would like a partial refund right now.
I think this is all true. Maybe don't take this as exact. Thank you, Frown and Ivy.
Thank you. That is exactly where we were going.
That is the best possible way that could have shaken out, and I'm really, really happy to making the same but opposite joke. Oh dear me. Of course, we all know the real inventor of America was Lin-Manuel Miranda.
He's so hardworking.
He's basically the loveliest.
Yeah.
Hey, this is what happened, by the way.
Oh yeah, story.
Do you remember those missiles we were meant to be helping with?
The big crayons, yeah.
Yeah, here's a big crayon.
I didn't think this would be so hard to control.
Alert. Obstacle ahead. A collision at this speed is not recommended.
Well aware, thank you.
Know how we struggled to find our boy after we woke up on the coastline?
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why.
Organize a search and rescue party for the missing Yorha members at
It's
once.
pretty cool to drive a missile into Spanini's mouth, though.
Extra filling.
9S. Don't die on me.
The child held sway over enormous strength. But sadly, he was also a little bit broken. He spent his long days hurting those around him. He tried his best to be good and kind. But despite his efforts, things never seemed to turn out. They told him he was unwanted. They abandoned him in the deep, dark ocean. And from the cold at the bottom of the sea, he cried out, "Mother, Mother, Mother, Mother." But his voice never reached his mother.
This is Tactical Support Unit Pod 042, assigned to 2B.
This is Tactical Support Unit Pod 153, assigned to 9S.
We pods often participate in the same battles. Exchanging our situational data would theoretically allow us to plan combat strategies in a more efficient manner. Proposal: data should be transferred regularly between Pod 042 and Pod 153.
Analysis. This idea is sound. Proposal accepted. Records will be organized in time for the next situational exchange.
Pod friends!
Pod friend.
So, you might have wondered what happened to 9S when we lost him. Fortunately, we get to find out now.
He's having an adventure.
He's having a text adventure.
Ugh. Will it be click and point?
We're in classic NieR territory again.
Or as Ivy says, the hacking zone.
It's always kind of in the hacking zone, you know?
But like, definitely.
Not strictly true that he's in the hacking zone. It's not strictly untrue that he's in the hacking zone either. He's somewhere else.
I'm an android. Get me out of here.
Probably shouldn't announce that right now. Plum don't like those types around here. Like the idea of him being in the zone. Yeah, my plan was really great. I'm really killing this. You know when you activate recovery mode because you just do such a good job?
Yeah, you just like completely, you know, blast your senses.
Hang on, Matt, that's a very good point. Ninus there did say 2B's plan. So, we're in the network.
Can you fall off?
Why would you want to fall off?
I'm just wondering, how dangerous is it? I don't have a feel for it.
The thing is, the hacking zone has very, very good barriers around everything. You don't see them, but there's velvet rope on every single edge.
Oh my gosh. Luxurious or like cheap as chips?
Both. The network exists as a duality.
My goodness, it's like expensive hemp.
I have heard of some of these too. I don't just mean monarchies, republics, and democracies, although we were just talking about Hamilton, I suppose. You know how, certainly at the start of the game and through a lot of the game, it was assumed the machines weren't really doing much?
They were doing everything.
Oh, they were doing everything. They have done it. But it was assumed for the longest time machines are very simple.
Hmm.
Of course, we figured out very, very quickly that machines had been, like, imitating human behavior. We found that out pretty much as soon as we got to the desert complex, right? But we didn't know to what degree.
No, we saw an example of, but not how widespread it was.
I love this method of storytelling because they're so cheeky with it. Cutting it off there is just straight rude. I know more. Who was it?
Tell us.
Oh, Adam. Trying on his same old routine with us again.
Like a machine, never learns.
To be fair, canonically at this point, 2B hasn't taught him a lesson yet.
Ah, okay. I give you that one.
He'll learn soon enough. That sounds so threatening.
He'll learn. He'll definitely learn.
So, with all that said, does Adam's attempt at fashion come under the failure or success category?
Depends on what stage he is on.
Oh, I'm thinking like fully, not evolved, but like full educated Adam.
There's an interesting mix of texture.
By texture, do you mean a fancy shirt and leather pants?
It's also like the dragon scale detailing.
That's Eve who has a dragon scale for the most part, isn't it?
They both have elements of it.
Oh, I thought Adam's pants were just simple, understated leather pants. An interesting mix of failure and success.
Failure. No, wait.
Failure is like what happens if you crash a boat. So, considering the context of that conversation, what Adam was saying, what do you think that sentence means?
Do you love her? But you can't say the word love, because dummy.
Do you actually think that?
I am not going to think anything because this game's gonna rip it out of my hands. Anyways.
It's not actually going to.
Oh,
is the thing.
what?
So genuinely, what was your interpretation of that line? This isn't a trick answer. There's no wrong. Is the thing.
Each of the machines treated their treasures with great care. One treasured family above all else. Another treasured its older sibling. Another treasured its own beauty. But one more machine treasured something unique above all else. Hate.
Is this death? So dark. So cold.
You're totally right about his pants, by the way.
Maybe the gloves are a little bit off.
9S! Nine-S.
2B.
Come on. Let's go home.
The 4-letter word is lift, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Or in really tiny letters, Princess Carrie. That's still one of the best shots of the game, I think. That's a spectacular shot. So, again, with there being no trick questions, what would you say that line was meant to convey?
Well, my thought was love. But I'm guessing other people have ruder interpretations.
There certainly have been ruder interpretations. I don't think those reader interpretations are particularly unfair, because certainly as English speakers, when you see a 4-letter out asterisked word, you are, and forgive me for saying it, you're gonna think fuck, you know? That's just what you see. Like, when you see 4 asterisks as an English speaker, that's kind of what your brain is hardwired to see. Or, you know, one of the other 4-letter champions. But
thanks, society.
We'll come round to society later, because we got a lot of things to tackle. So I don't think that's what it actually is. So, you know, in context of everything Adam was saying before and after,
it's probably hate. Like,
I think it's kill.
That fully. Kill? Oh shit.
Obviously, the whole point is that you don't know. The whole point is that they don't tell you, but considering it's going on a big spiel about hatred, and like, after saying hatred flowing into you, some kind of Sith nonsense, but like, there is something else that supports that too. So you're thinking about how much you want to fuck 2B is potentially like just a translation quirk. In the original script, they blanked that word out too, but supposedly the default interpretation of that word being blanked out to like the most common interpretation rather to a Japanese speaker is the word break, which effectively again would be interpreted as kill. So if I was to choose one problem with the game, I think the way that they just put 4 asterisks for it is the only thing. And hey, how minor a concern is that, right? But I think
it depends. How much are you paying attention to it?
That's true, but I think putting 4 asterisks kind of curries your expectation of what that is, you know?
Yeah.
Personally, I think because of the way Adam turns out and the context, I think it's more likely to be something like kill. But the fact it is open also is good because it allows you to put what you want onto the character as well.
Yeah. They've also got the whole thing of they've translated it so well, I forget that this is a translation.
Yeah, like we've talked about 8.4 time and time again. They are the people responsible for the incredible like localization of this, and also Monster Hunter, which we've been praising a lot recently too. And they have done an incredible job. Like the script and like the writing in general in this game is so wonderful. Like I'm not sitting here saying they did a bad job. That's like the teeny tiniest little concern, you know? Also, Matt's right, they did the original NieR too.
Proposal. Engage memory core diagnostics.
Yeah.
A single reply is sufficient for acknowledgement.
Fine.
That totally did say self-hack though, right?
It did say self-hack, yeah. Do you remember? Do you remember where we are?
Oh, hello.
We're inside the boy.
Hello. Oh, he's a tall boy? That goes down a long way.
No, this is a regular length boy.
Oh, okay.
Guess we better hack our memory units, huh?
How do you know which one? Well, why are you doing 9 spins?
Causing trouble in the boy.
Ah, no.
Remember anything yet?
Just get onto the square, do a pose. You'll find one that feels right.
Memory core diagnostics complete. No issues detected.
Good.
Proposal. Engage visual sensor diagnostics.
You got it.
I think you're right, Sarah. I think I like that interpretation of it too. I think we're getting to the point where we can't talk about it.
Took long enough. Don't you think it's overkill?
Sorry, everyone. I love you. Let's table this discussion for now.
Unbelievable.
That's it. I'm not saying don't talk about it. Please do. It's just, you know,
All right.
stay away from the spoilies.
Anyway, I just gotta sync up with the bunker server and then I'm out of here, right?
Thank you.
I'm just doing thumbs up at chat in general right now. Like, they know what it means.
God damn it. That's part of the joy of this for you.
What was that?
Unknown.
Halt the data sync.
Alert. Data synchronization is mandatory for all YORHA units.
Yeah, I know that, but we just got some kind of weird noise. Halt the data sync for 2B as well.
Affirmative.
Let's figure out where that noise came from. Just to be sure, you know? Open a port to the server.
Is this why you told chat to be quiet?
Say be quiet. I don't think there's a debate there, is there, Matt? I thought it was just that Citrus Estate didn't want them to because they didn't pay rights.
No time to examine everything. Better stick to the main data nodes.
Sorry, debate over. This data node is covered in junk.
Detected. YORHA unit storage records.
Oh. Do I have to write this down?
Don't worry, there shan't be a quiz.
Okay.
What's the point of all this heavy security? All the black box data has been deleted, but it looks like everything else is here.
Me too, Matt, and not least because of the fact that this song's name is Significance. Again, they know exactly what they're doing. They're like, the music for this game is so wonderful in so many ways. The name's absolutely included.
Detected. Access log to Council of Humanity's lunar server.
Ooh. Empty?
I mean, we saw the deliveries going up to the moon, though, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Why would they be empty?
Filling up the bodies with rocks, shipping them back to Earth. Moon rocks. Moon rocks.
What's up?
They're probably collecting moon rocks.
Looks like records for supplies shipped to the moon. Strange. There were a ton of empty containers. That's weird. Why would they do that?
Oh, right, 9S.
Huh? A new port just opened.
Detected.
Okay.
Council of Humanity and Project Yorha Records Index. Alert. We are not authorized to access this data.
Man, this stuff
Access
is all
the
wrong.
data.
I need to check this out too.
Just checking no one's looking. It's protected, we're not authorized. Computer sub.
Hack the system.
An attack barrier? Really? Why the heck would they install one of those in this server?
Oh, Commander.
Let's see. Looks like info about how the Council of Humanity was formed as part of Project Yorha. Wait, isn't that backwards?
After a long period of battles and adventures, the prophets spoke. Oh, grant me the mercy of the land. Oh, grant me the joy of the heavens. Release me from my yoke of iron. Thus shall our souls be.
What was that? Crap! Did they find me?
Negative. Emergency backup request from 2B.
Close the server connection and activate my body.
Affirmative.
Ah, 9S.
Operator? What happened?
We recently detected large numbers of machine lifeforms throughout the factory area. We received a support request from 2B soon thereafter, but have been unable to respond due to poor reception.
Alright, I'll try to gain access from the main terminal.
What a weird series of events. Unfortunately, I don't know if you've noticed, but I was going to say the door's locked. The door's technically locked because we have to stop for now. I hate to do this to you, In, but we have to stop for now.
Okay.
I know it seems like an inopportune time, but
Well, we have a lot to report.
that was a lot to take in. You're right. If we didn't have to do a report this time, next time Command's going to want a lot from us.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything about what we've just seen. I'm just going to let everyone stew in it. Again, not to sound cruel, but because it will all make sense soon. We're getting towards the end of Route B, so I think that next week when we're together might be the last one.
Okay. That's fine.
Hi, Ragni. I'm really sorry. We're just closing up shop for today. Sorry, In, you're about to say.
I don't know. It's just, there's so much. So much. I think I was just gonna say hi.
What are you thinking about? Are you thinking about how much you want to bake a cake for 2B?
We do have a box of red velvet in the pantry.
Oh, do you think 2B would like red velvet?
Well, I mean, Linus has a lot more experience with those, so why not give 2B a velvet cake?
We need to think of a type of cake beginning with S. Ah. We'll leave that one as homework for the folks at home.
Oh, yes.
We'll cop out.
Sponge! Ivy's got it!
Oh, 9 sponge
Thank
sounds...
you.
Oh, 9 shortcake. 9 shortcake. That's a good one.
Oh, little tiny shortcake, right?
Yeah, little tiny shortcake. That's what they call him. Thank you so much for joining me today, In.
Thank you for playing, Danny. Oh my goodness.
We've had a big old day. Thank you so much for joining us as well, everyone. We're getting very, very close to where the game's going to start popping off now. So, have a lovely night. We'll see you again next week.
Yeah, see you later.
I thought you were just going to end with see you.
Later.
See you.
And you, and you, and you. Okay.
Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.